Hello, 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 friends. Nicholas here with DIVO, TED Talks, Devoted Talks, where we take ancient wisdom and practices from a modern lens and experience to help you and those you love and suffering in your personal and greater worlds alike. And I just realized what I was trying to do here. I was trying to fake it till I make it. And then I was thinking in the moment, how do I make this sound good? Instead of tuning into the things that have always worked for me, which is I can tune in and I can channel a message, and that is the best way to do it. While the information in the last one is actually a personal interest of mine to figure out what is going on with the universe and why do we like yoga and why do we like Ayurveda, I know that I need to be more of an open vessel for this message to come through. So I'm going to do that right now. And so yoga and Ayurveda, in the last episode, we talked about yoga being the driving of the car and, your actual process of that. And that Ayurveda is the manual and the mechanical information of the car, right? And Sankhya's philosophy is the school to how it was created in the first place, right? That's a rough way of putting it. But what do you need to know about life and what do you need to know about it? It doesn't matter. I can talk ad nauseum about all of this stuff, but it's about the realizations that you have in the moment with regards to whatever it is you're experiencing. And so whether I say something that moves you or moves myself, or you drive by a person doing something on the road that makes you feel something and or have a dawning of knowledge, right? Enlightenment, it doesn't matter. It matters about your experience in the moment. And that's the yoga of it all. The Ayurveda of it all is how do we keep it going well, right? It's tuning, it's fine tuning, it's repairing, it's medicine. It is all of those things. And so what do you need to worry about? Being you. You need to tune into the depths of who you really are. And how you do that is by letting go of all the stories of the things that you tell yourself you are, or other people have led you to believe you are. You never were and never will be those things. You are only that which you understand about yourself and can only be that. If you accept other people's stories, well, that's still you accepting their story as the truth. And have you ever met somebody, and I'm thinking of somebody who's currently in the White House, who tells you who they are and they don't relent on letting you be informed by their opinion of themselves? They exist, right? And then sometimes we call them a narcissist, and I'm like, maybe it's pathological, but they do not cede any territory about their belief about themselves. And there's something to be admired about that. Not when they're in charge of government, but there is some lesson in that. And so we go back to, it doesn't matter how you feel good. It matters that you do. And sick people don't seek out doctors unless they're trying to feel better or maintain their health and wellness in a way that is better than their current experience right then and there. So what do you do with that? Well, people don't seek yoga and Ayurveda and fitness if they're feeling fantastic. Although I will say fantastic people will exercise and move, but they're not going to seek help unless they're not feeling like it's helping them in the right way, or they want to find it to be better for themselves, which would infer that they don't think that they're at the level or experiencing it fully, or it could be better than what it is. And inherently, they're acknowledging that there's something lacking or something's missing or they need more, right? There's a whole energy about that where people are missing out, or people are not having or not able to, and therefore they seek that. And so the reason why medicine is shunted the way it is that while they did their best to get things based on a range of people, healthy and unhealthy, right? Sick people don't just go up to a doctor and be like, hey, check my pulse, and hey, check this. And hey, if they don't need medicine, they're not going to go seek out medicine. And so the medical system is skewed towards illness, right? The self-help industry is geared towards and skewed towards dysfunction, right? Addiction stuff is skewed towards, I can't handle the way things are going on around me. And so I modify the way I'm feeling through some method. In fact, I feel like that happens a lot all over the place. But if the thing that they're doing doesn't cause a problem, they're not going to stop it, right? People are modifying how they feel all the time. People are modifying how they are experiencing things all the time. But we don't vilify overwork or overworking out or, things that don't cause medical issues or cause bad things to happen around the person. We don't find issue with it. We don't take trouble with it, right? When I was working all the time and doing all this stuff, I don't know how you have all that energy. I just admire it so much. And I was just burning myself out at both ends without any understanding of what I was doing. So one, it was working for me, and I could reasonably get myself back to a good place if I was able to crash out for a week once every quarter, right? And I wouldn't allow myself to see it for what it was. And so people who are not wanting to be ill or not wanting to feel dysfunctional aren't going to seek help, and they're just going to be in their dysfunction. Now, that's not saying that everybody is dysfunctional and they're just not seeking help. It is to say that there are dysfunctional people who aren't seeking help because the truth of that might be too hard to accept or to digest. There's people who are absolutely well and they don't really need anything, so they're not going to go and seek it out if they don't need it or feel that they need it or feel like something's missing. And then there's the people that need it, whether they know it or not, and they end up heading in the direction of the thing. And so they are the ones that dictate what it becomes. And so what do we do with that? Well, understanding that if you are seeking out some kind of resolution, you're acknowledging that you are either missing something, missing out on something, or you feel deficient in it. And so if you are thinking, feeling, or experiencing it that way, what are you going to see? What are you going to be paying attention to? What are you going to be energetically aligned to? What are you going to be cued into? Those things. So backing it up, how does one work on that? One works on that by thinking, what would have to be true to feel this way? What would have to be true to think this way? What would have to be true for that to be the story of my life? And then talk it out. And if you are accurate, then you say, okay, what do I have to do differently? But if it's not true, then you change your perspective so that maybe, just maybe, with that shift in energy, attention, and intention, you can then see new opportunities, see new ways of being, and see the wellness that may already be there that you just don't know how to acknowledge because you've so long thought of yourself as deficient. I was talking to my girl yesterday. We recorded an Ayurveda Digested podcast episode. And I was like, without getting into religion or anything like that, it is said that we are a fallen world. And I do believe that the fall and that the fallen experience we have in the world is that people have been led to believe that they are less than perfect as they are. That doesn't mean they don't need anything. And that doesn't mean that they don't have to do things for themselves. But that does mean that if they are doing anything above and beyond and or outside of what they are, or thinking that because they are something less than, there's something wrong with them, all of their energy is going to be fallen into this idea that they're broken. And then they're going to be looking for ways to fix themselves. When in reality, we are human beings having natural reactions to natural experiences out in the world. And so adapting to the world can be hard. But the one thing that I think makes the world fall and people act as terrible as they do at times or feel as terrible as they do at times is the fact that they're being led to believe that they have to do more than what they are to earn a place in the world. Whereas some people are born with silver spoons in their mouth and other people are born into poverty. And yet we want to say what that means. Did they earn it? Was it divinely given? There's all kinds of explanations out there. But I do believe that when we talk about it being a fallen world and just these crazy things that happen all the time in the world is all related to this idea that we as humans, and some humans are better than others, or some individuals are better than others, right? We live in a country where we say all men are created equal, and yet when that was written, there were slaves. That's crazy, but that's the level of dysfunction we're operating at. So, my friends, take what you like, leave the rest, and understand that you are perfect just as you are. And there is no reason, unless you truly believe that, because you validated through the idea of what would have to be true to feel this way. If that is true after that evaluation, then you can make that change. But otherwise, you are great and perfect just as you are. And if you continue to think you're less than, you will be fighting the rest of your life. I had a family member say, "You are the only person I know who can fall in shit all the time and come up smelling like a rose." And the reason I know that that has happened for me is because I never believed the story about what that meant to other people, to society, to whatever. I came up smelling like a rose because I rose up, and that is who I am. In fact, I created a scent at a local candle place, and I called it Strength and Rose. Be well and be free, friends.